Hey guys, this is Marc Goldberg from Marc Vlogs Watches, and call Dr. Phil because I need help. I'm being hit with powerful waves of emotion. I have a horological dilemma, conundrum, a riddle, a mystery. I'm beset by strong emotions that I don't really know what to do with, and I want to talk to you about this because I think of all people, you guys are going to understand me and potentially be able to offer me some helpful advice in the comments. So, before we get to the meat and potatoes of this psychological dilemma, let's go ahead and do the quick fist watch check, and here it is. Guys, if you are already a subscriber, thank you so much. And if you have not yet subscribed, please do it now so we can take this horological journey together again. Now, you are looking at actually the subject of the angst that I am feeling right at the current moment. This is a 50th anniversary Sea Dweller with a red line. It's a lovely 43 millimeter, 211 gram watch. Okay guys, so what's the problem? I don't know if it's me, but I'm going to want to talk to you about this because potentially I've invented a syndrome. So I bought this watch thinking I would love it, and I actually, the part of me that loves having watches, you know, the part of me that loves pulling my Barbies out of the safe, you know, from time to time and touching them, looking at them, winding them up, setting them correctly, and knowing that I have them. Listen to the bezel. It's just, I enjoy possessing an object, a physical object like this, on the one hand. On the other hand, there is something practical in my nature that says mere possession is not enough. This is a utilitarian tool, and you should wear it, Mark. You should use it. You should gain enjoyment from the daily interaction and experience with this watch. So after I acquired it, I started to wear it a little bit. And that's when I discovered that although it fits my 7 1/4 inch very flat wrist bone nicely, doesn't that look good? What do you think? Doesn't that look good? Even though it fits me nicely, it's heavy, okay? So this guy weighs 211 grams, whereas a Rolex Submariner, which I also own, weighs 148 grams. So that's 65 extra grams. It's like carrying 65 pennies for you Americans around. I mean, you notice the weight difference, and that's not the weight of the watch, that's just the difference between those two watches. So when I wear this thing, it's not top heavy, it's not uncomfortable, it's just heavy enough to the point where I'm constantly aware that there's something on my wrist in a way that I can forget about it with a Rolex Submariner, which just blends into my body, becomes an extension of me. This feels like it's always riding on top of my wrist, whereas the sub, I become at one with the sub. Be the ball, Danny. Feel the force, Danny. You can do it, Noonan. You can do it. Who remembers that? No. If I've gone crazy in my references, you know, well, okay. Put them in the comments if you're old like me and you remember that particular Bill Murray movie. Anyway, I'm just constantly aware that I'm wearing something on my wrist. I almost can never forget about it. And so I wouldn't call it uncomfortable. I would just call it a sensation of extreme awareness. And so what I did was, quickly I put it into the safe. I started wearing other watches. Even the 42 millimeter Explorer, the Polar Explorer, it's kind of big like this, but it's not as thick and it's definitely not as heavy. And I love that watch in a way that, I'm just having bonding issues with this one, I guess, is what I would say. So I put it away in the safe. It's very cherry, it's pretty virginal, it's really nice. And what happens, but somebody comes along and sends me an email asking if they should buy one. And that put me right away in mind of selling mine. So I made them a financial, you know, I gave them a price of what I thought I would charge for it if I was going to sell mine. And I haven't heard back from them yet. This was just a couple of minutes ago. But the odd thing was, the second I hit send on the email where I said, hey, I would sell you my complete set for around $13,000. Mark II dial, which I think I like better than the Mark I. Mark I, Mark II, the difference is between Swiss and made. I'll put a photo up of it, but between Swiss and made, in the Mark I there is a little line or nothing, and in the Mark II there's a little coronet. They're selling for the same amount of money. But I think that there's some aficionados who own the Mark I who feel like mine is better because I own it and it's Mark I. And I know, Dumb Machine, you're going to be right into the comments here. Yeah, mine's better. Well, you know, maybe it is. But honestly, so far, at least the sales points are identical. So basically, you got a whole lot of nothing there, my friend. Anyway, what I think is, I felt bad the second that I thought that I might sell this thing. And I was hit with waves of longing for a watch that was in the safe. And I just needed to put it on. And the second I did, I fell in love with it again. And here we are about 15 minutes later, and I want to get it off. It just, well, maybe if I open it a little with the glide lock clasp, maybe it's just too tight. But I've just felt like I want to take the thing off. Yeah, it's a little better because it's not so snug, but damn it, it's heavy. So the question becomes, do I keep it in the safe? Just let it, it's not hurting anybody there? Or do I try and, get my $13,000 or so out of it? Guys, what would you do? What should I do? Am I going to miss it if I sell it? Is this angst I'm feeling? The pre-sale jitters? What if he says, yes, I'll take it? Will I immediately yank it away from the market? Or will I say, good, go find a home where somebody will love you and let me put the money into a Hulk or something else? Have you ever had buyer's remorse? And more importantly, have you ever had seller's remorse? Have you ever had pre-buyer's remorse where you almost pulled the trigger and didn't and then regretted not doing it? I'm at the condition where I've invented an entirely new psychological form of crazy, pre-seller's remorse. I feel very, very bad at the thought of even selling it, but I'm not 100% sure I want to keep it. Please help. Send your PayPal donations for therapy to k9shrink@aol.com. Guys, thank you so much for being with me. I hope we get to do this again. Something terribly wrong with me. Goldberg, peace out.